Well, good evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your financial market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for the evening, as we're here now on Wednesday, the 5th of March, 2025, just around 6:30 p.m. Central Time. All right, my friends, I did a special short report that is only on my website, iraepstein.com. It's there right now. It won't be there tomorrow. All right, you'll be able to go to YouTube and it'll be listed in your list there, but it won't be on the front page of my website tomorrow. And what I talk about is what I think President Trump is intentionally engineering. And it's everything he said during his campaign. But it is a slowdown, a time for the stock market not to really be rallying. Notice he doesn't talk about the stock market at all. A way to break interest rates, which is something he's been working on. And right now you're adding a little yield back. But for nothing more than 10 days recently, we've taken the market down. You do recall we just got under 4.2 in the 10-year notes, and that is focus. And so we climbed back up near the 4.27, 4.3 level. That's okay. You keep making now the lower lows, and you get a bounce, and that fits in. The dollar. Did he not say when he ran that the dollar was overvalued? It's not overvalued anymore. But I'm going to stop right there and let you go see the report and what I'm talking about, because I think it makes a lot of sense. In the morning, you're going to get the Challenger Group. They're going to release their planned cuts, the fourth quarter revised non-farm productivity data at 7:30. At 7:30, you're going to get the trade balance data. You're also going to get at 7:30 jobless claims. They're looking for a decrease of 7,000. And by the way, in the trade balance, they're looking for a 30 billion increase. That's a 1/3 the size of it almost. We are also looking for the wholesale inventories at 9, and then we're going to get the natural gas storage number at 9:30. They're looking for 99 billion cubic feet withdrawal. Now, you're reaching a peak in these withdrawals. You're not there necessarily yet, but you're getting to that point as the weather starts to moderate as we get into the spring months. Remember, Sunday, for those states that turn the clocks, we're going to spring forward in Chicago and other states. I don't like that. I wish they would just get away with all that, and I think we can all live with it. But the time was when you wanted to save the electricity and so on with LED lights. I don't know that we're burning that much anymore. I would imagine it's a little less. All right. So the event of the day was obviously the phone call that took place this morning between Trudeau and Trump, and it was supposedly about a 45, 50-minute conversation. Trump said it went well, and bingo, suddenly the 30-day extension on car tariffs that meet the USMCA standard. Those cars are not tariffed, or I guess car parts or whatever. It's complicated, but it's in there. So look for that. But Trump made it very clear. You know, I keep saying Trump. You do realize I'm referring to President Trump, and this is not in any manner derogatory. It's just easier than each time saying that. So what I believe Trump has done is he said, no, we'll give you the time, but come that April 2nd time frame, we're going to those reciprocal tariffs. You look at them. What he's really doing is telling Mexico and Canada, listen, our automakers at home aren't happy with this. We realize you've done a lot. Do more, and let's figure out how we get away from that. It's a wink at it. Maybe the fentanyl problem goes away, and that's the first step. Canada's already said they will not drop any of their tariffs while this auto thing was given a 30-day period. Mexico has been silent. We'll see if they say anything come Sunday when Ms. Sheinbaum is due to talk. That's what she's given this to. We'll see. All right. You're up to date now on what that is. And again, this is the tool. The tool is social media. The tool is television. The tool Trump is using is tariffs, and that's not going to go away. It's everything he said he would do. Understand that and pay attention to it. But I wouldn't get enamored with the stock market here on any of this yet. On my website, I did a 6-minute video that explains how I think he's engineered this, why he engineered it, and what the end result I think will be for him. Take a look at it. It's there tonight. It will be gone when I do the morning video tomorrow. I can tell you that. It'll be on YouTube. That we won't take it down from, but it won't be on the front page of my website. It's there now, iraepstein.com. All right. So when we look at the S&Ps, you're staying under for the first time for a duration now. The 18-week average of closes, haven't done that since last November. You do see that. I'm not talking this past November, the November before then in 2023. So this is a change. Recognize it's a change. If you don't, knock your head. That's what you've got. You've made your top in the market for the time being. You can challenge it again, maybe. I have my doubts about that. I think under the current environment, the market's got a problem. The trend is down. The bias is down as the market's under the 18-day average. And you had a bearish crossover in that the red line, which is the 18-day moving average, just got underneath the 100-day. It still opens the door up for the market to play around this 200-day average and the Bollinger Band. And notice how you latched onto that Bollinger Band and you've stayed there, but you're not embedded. You're just oversold. This is a difficult market to get short down here, is what I'm saying. In the NASDAQ, it's the same thing. The market is trying desperately now to get the 18-day average under the 100. And when that happens, rallies up to those numbers, it's like hitting a brick wall. I'm not saying that cars can't go through a brick wall at enough speed. I'm saying they generally don't. And that's what I think can happen. You got another bearish crossover taking place right now on the Dow versus the mini micro. This is a time in the stock market to be very defensive, not to be aggressive on your buys. I know people, I keep hearing, oh, I like this, it's down here. You don't get these values very often. Nonsense. There's always value somewhere. Higher high, lower low. You came down to the 200-day average and the Bollinger Band, and you've held it. That's a short covering area and not a fresh buying zone. And in the Russell, are you going to lose the embedded reading? You haven't. So I think this is the one the pros are looking at to go short the market and see if there's more downside back to the 2055. The problem is it's not a lot of play in it. You had your bearish crossover here of the 200-day average, and you can see what it's done. So you've dropped very nicely in that. Now in the notes, you just lost the bearish embedded reading. Let me just show you how this works. Here's the 10-year, and you lost it on the close today. When that occurs, when it occurs before a market makes a new high, it often makes a run to the closest main moving average. We'll see if it can do it in this particular case. In the 2-year note, you lost the same thing. We'll see before it gets up through there if it can make its run down to those numbers. Now, if they come down, remember, this is an inversion market. If the markets drop to these numbers, it means short-term rates are going higher. Do remember that you're going to be going on Friday into a major U.S. jobs report. What's it going to say? How's the market going to react to it? I'd be very cautious of this report. In the dollar index, one of the things the president talked about, and we got to go back here to when he took office, the market was up about here, was he wanted to see a lower dollar. He's got it. Since he's taken office, the dollar has basically done one thing. It has fallen probably 400 points in value on the dollar index. And at the same time, Europe is soaring because they have to go out and buy and borrow for defense. So their stock market's taking off. Anything to do with defense is moving out. Instead of fiscal responsibility, and that's all they want to do, talk about that in Germany and other countries, they're opening the pocketbooks. They have no choice. They've got to start defending themselves. The sadness of all this is they could have been doing this before Trump came back. They didn't. They used Biden. They didn't do what they should have. It's been a crime all the way through. Most of the countries didn't even meet the goal, the promise that they had done. So forget the 2% of GDP. And you've heard me say this over and over. They got to go to 3 or 4%. And this is why the euro is soaring right now on this news. The pound isn't far removed from it, all right? They too are making their move. Macron tonight said, you know, we have nuclear weapons. You rarely hear France say that. We can offer defense to Europe against Russia. I'm just telling you, these are the things you're starting to hear. When's the last time you heard France talk about in the press their nuclear weapons? I don't recall it, okay? I can't go back that far. Gives you an idea. They're not the only ones that have them. When we take a look at Bitcoin, you've got higher lows, higher highs, but you can't seem to get over that 18-day average of closes. The market got oversold. I made mention, I said the first challenge to you here of a 200-day average often is where short covering takes place. I think that was a pretty good call for you on that. I am still bearish on energy. I don't know where the bottom is, but I don't think we've seen it. I'm looking at bearish crossovers happening. Now the 18 just got underneath the 100. You have a classic bearish setup. You've got the shortest term average, the 18 under the 100 under the 200. This is massive top action in the market here. And now the question is, where's it going? Is it 65? Is it 60? I don't know what the number is, but certainly on big rallies, I think you're going to get short selling. Same in our WTI. Is it a 60 number? You know, we trade about $3, $4 difference often. Could be. And here too, you're getting the 18-day average under the 100. So the energy and anything to do with those stocks and so on, obviously there's trouble in Detroit, so to speak, all right? So we'll see what happens. Or Oz. Lower highs, lower lows, running the lower Bollinger Band, still not embedding. I would not be pursuing the short side of that market. And in nat gas, the tax, the tariff, what we get from Canada, this has helped lift the market. It's not, in my opinion, because of demand. If anything, the president wants to spend now $4 billion, you heard that number, in building gas lines in Alaska so that we can ship more gas out of the country. We want to produce more. But right now you have to deal with the cold weather. You got to deal with the tariff story. So it makes natural gas a bit different. If you're interested in seeing more, go look at pivot points. Yes, our course on it. When you look at pivot points, if you're an in and out trader or you're a trader, hey, the market's down a lot right now. Is it a buy for me? I want to pick it up, see if I can scalp it, do different things. I don't know your technique, but I know this technique, and it's a pretty cool one. It looks at the previous day's open, high, low, close. There's a formula. It uses the formula. If you have a good charting service, it's in there already. You don't have to play with it. And I teach you how to use it along with momentum, the slow stochastic, because the combination of the two is what I think makes it work better than it was. Did I use this in my career? Do I use it in my career? Both. Is it important? I think it's real important. So learn it. It's free. It's one of my ways of teaching you, and you get to see how I teach. Go to iraepstein.com, go to free offers. You'll see the pivot point course. The Arun indicator is there too. Take advantage of both. And when you finish that, then go look at the courses, the education section on our website, and I think you'll learn a few things there. I'm Ira Epstein. You have yourself a great evening. Remember, you can move your cursor up here also at any time. You'll be an icon, and that'll take you to the areas. Take care now.